everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Aneh's Food Show. Today on the show, I have a young lady on the set who will be telling us about her organization and her work with young women and how she's making an effort to make these women become women, or girls rather, become women of substance tomorrow, and what part she's playing in that. And later on in our kitchen segment, we're going to spend some time making some fish balls, which could be used as an appetizer or as part of a great meal. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the show along with us.
Aneh's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
Welcome to the show, and it's my pleasure having you here today. So before we go too far, could you just tell us who you are and give us your name?
Thank you for having me, Aneh. I am Nakinti, Besumbu, Nofuru. I have quite a difficult name.
So
you need to really eat the fish balls really right before you call my name.
So, now you work with young girls. Can you just give us a little bit of a summary about what your organization does?
Like I always tell people, my organization focuses on removing women from the margins to the center.
Okay.
From the margins of all aspects of society to the center
of society.
That is, if you find a girl who is at the margin of her educational ladder, we want to remove that girl from that margin and place her here.
Okay.
Because when she is here, she is independent, she's financially strong, she's academically upright, and everything is good.
Okay. Excellent. So, which areas do you work in? Do you work primarily in the Northwest or Southwest, or where do you
Both.
work?
I work in both the Southwest and the Northwest regions.
Okay.
I have beneficiaries in both regions.
Okay. So now, what exactly do you do for these girls? What activities do you do for them, or how do you move them? How do you take them out of that margin into the center?
Actually, the major activity that my organization carries out is scholarship. We have been running the scholarship scheme for 3 years.
Okay.
Like the first year we started with 8 girls, the second year we went up to 25 girls, and this academic year we have gone up to 85 girls.
85 girls.
85.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
In both Northwest
In
and
both Northwest and
Southwest region.
Yes.
So what I'm also trying to get is what gave you the passion or the motivation to do this?
Yeah, I always like to talk about the motivation behind the scholarship scheme.
Uh-huh.
It comes from my personal story.
Okay.
It comes from my family story.
Okay.
Like I used to say, I wasn't born into a poor family. I was born in a middle class family, but for some reasons or some financial problems, my family plunged into some serious financial difficulties.
Okay.
And so when my dad retired, we had to retire to the village, and we depended solely on the farm for our education. We were 8, and we were all in school, all in secondary school. And so during August and September periods, my mom and dad will move from house to house, meeting to meeting, trying to borrow money to send us back to school.
Oh, wow.
And so it is that passion that they showed us, that dedication that they showed us, and they were able to send us all to school, all through university, that I said, okay, my dad was able to do that. But my friends in the village, their parents were not able to do that. And they stayed at home. They got married early, they got pregnant early. They are now in their homes, they are working farms. If my parents were not there for me, I would have been one of those girls. So now I want to stand in the gap to help those girls whose parents do not have that courage to stand for them. Maybe because the poverty is so serious, or they don't even have a place to borrow money, or they don't even have the passion to push their children forward, partly because they are girls. So I want to stand in the gap, identify those girls, and give them the opportunity to go to school.
Excellent. So you step in now and you give them a scholarship.
I give them a full scholarship.
Make life easier for them.
Yes.
You know, that is such a passion that, I mean, I can really see how it could lift a girl out. What is one of your worst cases that I hate to even say worst, or let me just say devastating cases that you've ever had to deal with?
I am always thinking of that girl. She's a little girl. When I met her, she had dropped out in Form 1 because she couldn't pay her school fees of 42,000 francs in the secondary school. So when I started the scheme, the first name that they gave me was the name of that little girl.
Okay.
When I went there, I had to ask them. They had to tell me the little girl's story. And they told me her mom was mad. somebody raped her mom in the village in that madness and impregnated her.
Oh no.
The mom carried her on her back until she was about 3 before the mom died. Like serious madness, somebody who is seriously mad.
Yeah.
And they could not succeed in taking that child from that woman because she would never accept until she died. So that child, I don't know, for some reasons, a lot of her family members too are dead or were dead at the time. And so there was really no one who was up to the task to sponsor her. And so they are living in just a one-room house, about 8 of them. Just a single small square 3 by 3 meters room.
Okay.
And so when I got there, the only aunt that she was living with was also blind. She's the one who goes to the farm, she plants, she harvests, she tries to go to school, she cooks.
This young girl?
Yes.
Okay.
She fetches water, she finds firewood and everything. And if you look at her, some people say you can see traits of madness. She needs a psychiatrist.
She needed some help.
Yes, she needs some help, some medical help. And she can even not smile. The first day I called her, she would sit like every 3 minutes she'll make, you know, that heavy breath.
Just a heavy sigh.
Like somebody is disturbing her. So her story is so pathetic. And she's really not doing well in school, but I really cannot drop her because we just need to give her that push.
She just needs
the push. If she's not doing well, it's not because she's dull, it's the environment that she finds herself. How can she succeed if she's going to the farm, she's cooking, she's doing all those things?
Now, someone could say that, you know, it's such a miserable life, because her mother was raped and that, so she, but it seems like even her story adds some value to your life also and touches other people in some way.
Of course. Of course.
And now, what other activities that do you do to raise support now to be able to give these scholarships out?
The first year, I started with my salary. And when I started with my salary, I was lucky because my stronghold is the internet.
Yes.
That's why I get everything that I do. Yes. In terms of finances, in terms of other resources. When I put it up on Facebook that this is what I want to do, this is what I want to begin doing, and I want to start doing this with my salary. A few friends on Facebook in the US, mostly people I have never met. They are the ones. So some people send $50, $20, and I came up with some little income. I was planning to pay school fees just for 6 girls for that first year, but with the money that I put together myself and the money that they gave me, I was able to put 8 girls in school, buy uniforms, buy books, and everything.
Excellent, excellent. So I can give you a good hand. Yes. And also I want to point out that the jewelry that I'm wearing, this necklace that I'm wearing, is made by you.
Yeah.
And you also sell these to
raise
support. Tell us more about these.
So lovely. I love to see the jewelries that I make.
Yeah.
I didn't learn it from
Actually, the earrings on this also.
Yeah. I didn't learn it from any. No, I can't say I didn't learn it from anyone because I follow YouTube videos to make them.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a business component that we are adding to our social enterprise.
Yes.
Because I've started thinking of sustainability.
Exactly.
I cannot depend on grants, donations from people all the time. There will come a time when if you don't have those grants or those donations, what do you do? That's where I started. It's something that I call Rescue Women Cameroon Arts and Crafts.
Okay.
It's something that it's going to grow to become a shop. So we'll have a Rescue Women Arts and Crafts shop.
Okay,
yes.
Excellent. I love that idea. And I really do hope that we'll get a lot more people that are willing to stand by you and come alongside. And next time even we might be able to have one of your girls tell us their story directly. So yes. I really do pray you do well in this because you know it's almost as though it's a ministry.
Yeah.
It's a ministry, it's a mission, and it's a passion that you have. And man, God bless you. I hope you've been able to get something that she does, and also to understand that helping is not just only helping people around you, but extending a hand even further to people outside of your comfort zone. It's actually sustaining a life, which is also very important to us. So please stay tuned as we continue our discussion and we spend some time in the kitchen making fish balls. So stay tuned and don't go away.
Aneh's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
Welcome back to our kitchen segment, and my guest and I hope you're happy to be here in this kitchen.
Of course I am.
And we're going to make some wonderful fish balls.
Oh.
You know, you get meatballs, but this is fish balls. Okay. So it's a very simple recipe to do. We'll get the spices, get it all together, roll them into balls, and then we'll just deep fry them a little bit. How's that?
That's good.
Okay. So I think we'll do this in as a team because you're very easy going in the kitchen, right? Okay. So you start by putting in the tuna. So you just put it in a bowl.
All of this?
All of it. And you start smashing it down. While
like I'm pounding a chew?
Yep. Just pound it down. Can you pound a chew really well?
I can try.
Why try all you?
Because I want to get married to a buffoon.
Oh yeah? You want to get married to a buffoon man?
Yes.
Buffoon men! Okay. So how are the pieces looking?
It's coming out really well.
So what we did is we took a fresh tuna fish,
Yeah.
and we just steamed it with very little water. Just let it steam, and then took out all the bones.
Okay.
If you want, you could use canned tuna, but cost effectively, it's expensive.
Yeah.
So it's easier to just use the fresh fish than the canned fish. Okay, so with that, we'll add our onions. You just go ahead and slide it in, and you continue mixing.
Okay.
So I don't think I need to do any more chopping, so just move this over here. Maybe it might be better around here.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do we need to add in there? We have some garlic. We'll put some garlic in it. This is going to be really tasty. I can see. And about a teaspoon of salt, or half a teaspoon of salt.
Now the onion is dealing with me.
Now you get the onions, right? Half a teaspoon of salt. And about a teaspoon of white pepper. Now, do you use white pepper more or black pepper?
Black pepper.
Black pepper.
Yes.
Okay, I'm also a black pepper freak.
Okay.
But for once, we'll use white pepper on this one. It'll go nicely with the fish.
Okay.
Yeah. So add that in there. One, just add a little bit more. So do about 2 teaspoons of that. There.
It smells good.
Wow. And then we add just a little bit of chili pepper or pepper powder. So it's dried ground pepper.
Okay.
Yeah, just to get it to have a little bit of zip.
So can we use fresh pepper?
Well, you could, but the thing is, how would you really get it to incorporate? That would be the challenge. But you can also serve the finished product with a pepper sauce. You will still have that zip in it. But this, when you put it in here, it just gives it a little bit more. Yeah. Do you eat pepper a lot? Or?
Yeah, I do. I am from Tian Division of Morocco.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. You eat a lot of pepper.
There you go. Pepper people. Okay. All right, that's good. So what we'll do now is bind it with some eggs. So we'll just get a couple of eggs in there. There. And there. Really good whack.
Wow. I thought the mixing was going to get really tough, but it's making it easier this time.
Yeah. So it just gets it binds the whole mixture together. Okay. So just set it now on here. Let's see. Hush, yeah. Okay, there we go. Now this is where the fun starts, or some of the fun starts. We get to use our hands. You know, in the kitchen, you use everything, your senses, your eyes, your ears, your hands, feel. So, we'll set these tools aside. So what we'll do now is we just take the mashed down meat or fish. Okay. This is about a tablespoon amount. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of gently put it together. There we go. And we put it in flour. Now, Originally, I was thinking that we could do these and dip it in a little bit of milk to increase the binding. But so I'm doing this, I'm realizing that if we dip it in milk, it might fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just skip that and we'll just do it like this. Instead, we could add a little bit of milk onto here. So we'll just add probably, just eyeball it, about a quarter cup of milk, just to make it a little bit more sticky. Okay. All right, that's good. So we'll just do this now. Just use our hands and just make these balls. You can just put your hands right there. So looking good.
Looking really good.
Now, with your work with with young girls and young women as a mentor to them, how can you, do you often teach them kitchen related?
Yeah, that is something I've been thinking about to do.
Add to that,
to add to that.
Yes.
I really want to teach them something that they can get themselves involved in during holidays or during school period to raise some income for themselves.
Excellent, because that's a good way. You know, we women or young girls, sometimes when you need a lot of affirmation to do something right, and you're affirmed that you're doing it right. So by getting them to learn how to do something well for themselves also adds to getting them ready for womanhood.
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. So what other things do you work with them on right now?
I think the major thing is the scholarship for underprivileged girls because they are more vulnerable. They are the ones who easily drop out of school. And if we give them the scholarship, we are giving them another chance to go to school. And that keeps them in school, that guarantees them a job in the future and an income, financial independence.
Okay.
And when a girl is educated, every other right of the girl falls into place.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. So I think that our oil, let me just get the other stuff off my hands.
So should I continue?
You can go ahead and continue. And I think the oil is pretty hot already. Okay, we'll just drop them in. Okay, it's coming along. So we'll just drop the balls right in. Yeah. And this really won't take a long time to cook because the fish is already pre-cooked, it's already steamed. And so this is just giving them a finish, if you will. We don't want to overcrowd the pot, else they will just fall apart. Okay, an overfilled pot may break.
Yeah.
Okay. Just grab a plate. Okay, how's it coming along?
Really good.
Okay.
And it's fun to do. So I don't want to stop.
Okay. So getting to Indian, how easy?
No,
difficult.
You should say how difficult.
Okay, well, how difficult is it getting to India these days?
Because we don't even have a kilometer of tar road.
Seriously?
So it's really, really difficult.
Okay. So how do you get there from here, from Bamenda?
From Bamenda, you use a bus. I normally use night bus because I gain 1 day.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You use a bus to Kumba, and then from Kumba, you take a small, what we call small plando, where they pack about 8 people. A normal plando, which is supposed to carry 5 persons plus the driver.
Yeah.
So they pack 8 of you in there to Molemba. That's over 100 kilometers.
Okay.
From Kumba to Ekondo Titi to Molemba. And the road is really rough.
Okay.
During the rainy season, it's really difficult. But during the dry season, the drivers are used to their road, and so navigation is easier and faster.
Okay. Yeah. So you actually work with girls in those rural areas?
Girls, you pass Molemba and get into the rural areas where you use bike, you trek, you cross rivers, bamboo bridges. It's really tough. Not network, not telephone, not internet. No.
So really, you're sort of like a light bearer to girls in those areas.
Of course.
Because I mean, how do they know to get to school? I mean, is schooling important to them at all or not?
To some it is not. Because most of them consider marriage to be more important than school.
Okay.
Most of them get pregnant before they get to Form 1 even. And those of them who try to get to Form 1, they get pregnant in Form 1 or Form 2 and so they drop out.
Oh, yeah. So it's not easy, I'm sure.
No, it's not easy.
Okay. Well, I hope that your work with them will really give them some hope.
I think so.
Yes. Okay, excellent. So our balls are, this is what we go in first. So it's not too long to cook. So you just kind of get them nice and light brown, not too brown, just give it light brown. Because you will see that the foam is dying now.
Yeah.
So if you leave it too long, it will get really dry.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's looking so good.
Alright, I'll get these out and we drop another batch in and then you just clean your hands and you have the honors of tasting these. To let you know. Just a little bit more. Okay. There we go.
I'm done.
Excellent. I'll say clap for yourself that your hands are all messy. Okay. Alright, I'll just drop another lot in and then while you get your hands cleaned up, then we will come and taste some. Excellent. Okay. Alright, now we've got our hands all nice and cleaned and we're ready to taste.
Yay.
Let me just get this last batch out. Okay. And it's going to take only about 5 minutes or so to cook. So we're just finishing it really in the oil. And ooh. So make sure you don't taste the hot one. You
No.
just taste from the cold
I don't want to
side.
get my mouth burnt. No, not now.
No. There we go.
See how beautiful we look.
Excellent. You did a great job.
I did.
You did a fantastic job. Now these are good for a party or an event or just to have at home for something different, you know. And you can actually make them and use them as meatballs. So you can make a tomato sauce and put it inside just to give it something different.
Yeah.
So I'll give you this fork and you can go ahead and try and tell me if we made a mark or we didn't.
Okay. Gently, I can just pick it up. To make.
No.
So tasty.
Oh, wow.
I want to make it again.
We can start all over. Or I can come over
Yeah,
and make it for you. Or I can come over, you make it for me.
that's the best way.
Like grab a bigger piece and just sink right into it.
Okay. It's hot.
Now, tuna fish is relatively inexpensive at the cold store. So it's something that you can, without a lot of money, you can actually host, you can sell it, you can do as you please. So very simple and also something you can serve for a dinner party and it would also be very elegant. You can also pair it with a tomato sauce or just, just as is. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed our kitchen segment.
I did.
Okay. I hope
I
you
did.
enjoyed
I really did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the kitchen segment. So you'll be making this and you're calling me over and I'll eat
Every
them.
weekend.
Okay. I hope you've learned something today about Rescue Women and the wonderful work that she's doing to take a light to young girls and bring them hope for a better life. So I hope you also get to try this recipe at home, which is really simple and easy, and have fun while you do it also. Stay tuned for our next show. Bon appetit.